So after a whirlwind few weeks, we are delighted to be joined on the podcast by AFLW champion Erika O'Shea. Erika, you're the pride of Macroom now. How does it feel being an AFLW champion with the North Melbourne Kangaroos? Like, it's absolutely incredible, the achievement.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me as well. But yeah, it's an incredible experience to be able to be a premiership winner, I suppose. I never thought I'd be able to achieve it, and yeah, it still feels fake, to be honest. It doesn't feel real.
Like, you're only a few weeks or few days after it now. Like, has it really sunk in that you've won the AFLW title yet?
No, I don't think it's sunk in yet. I'm only off the plane with about, I'd say, 7 hours, 8 hours. So it still hasn't hit me. I suppose I'm only just in the door, and yeah, I've seen a few people, like a few of my friends and stuff, and yeah, they've definitely made a big deal out of it, which is lovely.
And you said you're just off the plane there. Like, it's a magnificent time to come home in many ways. Christmas coming soon, off the back of a brilliant win as well. Like, you couldn't have dreamed for a better end of the year, could you?
Yeah, I think I actually never thought we'd be able to actually win it. Like I obviously had a lot of belief in the team, but it was something that I felt like it was like a dream that something I'd love to achieve, but I wasn't sure if we'd actually be able to do it. And to be actually able to do it and be able to come home with the medal, yeah, it's incredible.
The last time we had you on this podcast, we asked you about your idols, and you were saying that you're not an idol as of yet. Surely, after winning an Australian title, surely you're an idol, especially for the people in Macroom now. Do you think that yourself, or are you? Do you think you're an idol?
No, definitely not. But no, I obviously love the support that I get from Macroom. Like I feel like all the girls in the school and stuff, if I grow up, they're always so good to support me and yeah. But no, I feel like I'm a long way off that.
Like, the thing is, like, Erica, as well, you're part of AFL history. Like, no other team has done, men or women, have done an unbeaten season throughout the whole season and won most of their games. Like, I think you only drew one game across the whole campaign and you didn't lose at all. Like, what is it like to be part of that kind of a history valve in AFLW or AFL history, more or less?
Yeah, it was incredible. And like we were also like the first team to actually win it in North Melbourne, the women's team. So like that to go down in history as well, like as the first premiership team to actually win it. Yeah, it's incredible. Like there's something that they obviously like held so highly out there as well because we like the first women's team that are an expansion club as well. So we came into the competition late. So to be able to like obviously evolve the team and like get everyone over, like we have 4 Irish girls in our team. So to be able to like blend the team in like that and to be able to come out with a win is yeah incredible to bring home.
Talked about blending the team, and the team the club is relatively new as well. Does that make the achievement even more impressive in a way to go and beat the entire campaign?
Yeah, I think even to go unbeaten now, if that doesn't feel real either to say that. But yeah, we drew that one game against Geelong, and I think that like showed us up in the middle of the season to be like, yeah, okay, we need to get our like stuff together, and it made us work a lot harder at training, and to be pushed through for the rest of the season, which is like good. But yeah, those Irish girls to have them like come over across the whole campaign. And like you see the likes of Orla Dwyer and those girls who like have won all Australians as well. So you can see that the Irish players are definitely bringing something like maybe that little edge to their game as well.
We talked about Order O'Dwyer there and Jennifer Dunn is on the Brisbane Lions team as well, and they won it last season. To beat them in the final so comprehensively as well in the scoreline of 39 points to 9. Like, could you have dreamed of that scoreline going into the final?
No, I was terrified going to that final because we obviously lost to Brisbane last year and they gave us like a hard beating last year now. I think we lost by maybe like 20 points, 30 points in the end. And I think for us, we had that like fear in the back of our heads, like, oh, this crowd beat us by so much last year. So yeah, it did drive us on in the end, but I could have went either way. Like it would either drive a team on or completely send them backwards. So we were lucky that it just drove us on.
After 3 years playing AFLW, do you think you've had more of a grasp of the rules by now, Erica?
I do, but I also think because the AFLW competition is still so new, like it's only been in 8 years now. So I think because it's so new, every year it's getting like that step like harder for everyone. So like since I came into the competition 3 years ago, there's a huge difference between fitness, physicality since like I came. So like I think in the next couple of years it's even gonna get like keep stepping up and up, which is good, but it's making like everything a lot more intense, I suppose, which is obviously good too. But yeah.
And is there any parts of the AFLW rules that could be brought in to ladies Gaelic football back here in Ireland and improve the game in a way?
Um There definitely could be. Like I think my coach is like Darren Crocker. He used to play himself with North Melbourne, and he also coached the men's team. And the men's team, if you're watching it, it's like so system based. So like it's like they describe it as like a washing machine, whereas the defense would go like that. So like the forwards will have to track all the way this side, and everyone else like pushes up, and like everyone keeps coming forward until the ball like stops. And he says that if we brought that into Gaelic, it would change the whole game. That we don't want. He was like, if I was training, I wouldn't have you one on one. I'd have you in that system base. I think it could work, but I also think because the ball's around, it could travel a lot further. And you don't have the like I think if you see the AFL ball bounce, it could go anywhere. And that's the luck of it too. But with Gaelic, I'm not sure if it would work, but it'd be interesting.
And you talked about your Irish teammates there briefly, like Vicky Ward from Meath, Blaughin Bowe from Fermanagh, and Nia Martin from Tipperary. What's it like to have those Irish girls beside you in the North Melbourne squad?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I suppose you see Vicky, who's definitely like stepped up her game. She came from rugby sevens, so she would have played with them for a while, trying to make the Olympics. And like that experience of coming in from that setup, she brought so much intensity into training and the power and like even in her tackling, stuff like that. Like to be able to train with people like that, it's incredible. And the two other girls are great as well. Like they're really good girls and like they're really good footballers as well. So it's so nice to have that Irish base out there.
And you talked about the players there, just the whole Irish community going out there. I think there's over 50 AFLW players the last time I checked. And then there's more top in the men's game as well. I think Conor McKenna won an AFL title this year as well from County Tyrone. So, like, what's it like to have the Irish community based over there in Australian football?
Oh, it's so good. I think as well because we have the same like values and stuff like coming over from Ireland, you obviously have the time difference of talking to your family, little things like that. And even if you just miss like talking to someone who's Irish, there's so many people around. And Grace Kelly was one that was so good to me. Like she played at Mayo and she's the sister of Niamh Kelly as well. So like had been playing with St Kilda and she'd always catch up with me and like yeah, so like having that community like set up in Australia is huge to be able to stop homesickness as much as possible.
Do you think there's a potential for any car players, more car players to go down to Australia? And if they do, what advice would you give them?
Oh God, I'd love it. I think I'm waiting for another Cork person. I know Mark Keane's out there, but he's in Adelaide. So if I had another Cork person in Melbourne, it'd be unreal. But I think the advice is just work hard because you can, like, I obviously dreamt of AFLW. I think I definitely said it a couple of years ago when I was like 18, 19, doing podcasts and stuff like that. And yeah, it was my dream. So to be able to achieve it was cool. But like for girls who want to achieve that as well, I just say work hard like do as much running, as much gym, like push yourself as much as you can, and you can definitely achieve it.
Is it really as simple as that? Just work hard and you might get your rewards.
Yeah, I actually think it is though. It's just but like obviously there's little things like I used to take really seriously is like sleep, nutrition, all those things play a huge factor. As like you have to work hard as well. Like you have to be able to go for runs on your own, go to the gym on your own. Just little things like that, doing the extra that no one else really would. And yeah, I definitely think you'll achieve it. Anything you want.
We talked about achievements there and winning the AFL title and working hard and things like that. But how much have you enjoyed playing the sport of AFLW?
Yeah, do you know what? I actually really enjoyed it. I think at the start I found it like bit difficult to get used to. Like you were saying, like the rules and stuff like that, everything's very different. But like the physicality was the one that actually found the hardest. I forgot to mention that. Oh yeah, but like I really enjoy playing FLW because I like even you said you touched on that community base, but like even the intensity of and like the thrill you get of tackling someone. I guess because you can't do that in Gaelic, like the way you can just grab someone and then get hold of the ball and then you win that ball and that kind of stuff. And like I do love the physicality after it. Like you obviously have to do a lot of gym to be able to do it, but I do really enjoy sport. I think it's the thrill of not knowing where the ball is going to bounce as well.
Is there kind of a culture shock in a way with the tackle that you mentioned there? Like in most tackles in AFLW, you get away with it, but in ladies football, you get pulled back for it. It'll be a free. So is there kind of a culture shock, not just for yourself, Erica, but for other players coming back from AFLW to go back and play ladies football?
Yeah, it definitely is a culture shock. I remember the first few times I tried to go back to Cork football a couple of years ago after doing a season of AFLW. I found it impossible not to like tackle someone or like pull someone or like little things like that. And I kept getting yellow cards, kept getting sent off, and I just couldn't understand why. And I remember at the time Cork tried to get me to have like two tennis balls. So I'd be holding tennis balls instead of grabbing people. And it did help, but like that crossover I found challenging, definitely. Just because you're so used to that tackling, you practice it every time you go to training. So to be able to stop that, yeah, it definitely was challenging.
We saw the videos and the photos of you celebrating the win with your family over there in Australia straight after the final whistle as well. What was it like to have your family over there at that moment?
Oh, it was incredible. I suppose having my mom and dad there, it meant the world to me. I definitely wouldn't have been able to achieve anything without them. So being able to have them there was, yeah, unbelievable. I think even like being able to have family after the game is like the first few games, obviously didn't have any family. So like the team are your family essentially, but like they all have like after the game, we have this room and all the girls go to their parents and their friends. And I think because I'm like one of the youngest like I'm one of the youngest Irish players as well, but I'm one of the youngest girls on the team. And now having someone to go to, it's just like, because everyone else my age was to be in like uni or college and stuff, and like no one's moving out yet. So like having the family over to be able to celebrate with them was huge. And even just to be able to bring the medal home and like show all my family here as well, the support, it was unbelievable.
You mentioned that you're one of the youngest Irish players to go over. You're still only 22, Erica. So, do you envisage yourself playing AFLW for the most or rest of your career?
I'm I do think I'd like to play for another few years. I think I'm signed until 2026. I got a contract extension, which was nice, but I do really want to go back to Cork and finish out like playing All Ireland finals, hopefully, and win All Ireland final with Cork in the future. It's something I always dreamed of as well. And we just fell short of it before I left for Aussie Rules a couple of years ago. So I'm hoping to go back at some stage, definitely, and hopefully win an All Ireland.
And it's a fantastic end to the year, and we're edging towards Christmas now. So, like, is it an ideal time to come home in a way?
Yeah, I think it is ideal. I suppose I have a few weeks now to get over the jet lag, yourself. That would be a challenge on its own. But in the next couple of weeks to see family, friends, and just have that downtime. Because I feel like the last couple of years, I never had the downtime. I always went straight back into uni football or going back straight to Cork football or something like that. So having like the little break now before Christmas to decide what I'm gonna do, I suppose, yeah, it's nice.
And what would be the aims for next season? Would it be a back-to-back title with North Melbourne, perhaps?
That's the hope, I suppose. We're after doing the draft at the moment, so we're after getting a few like girls who are all Australians and stuff like that. So our team is actually getting even stronger, which was like amazing on its own. So hopefully we'll do back to back, but I suppose you never know.
And just one more question as well about the Cork ladies footballers. What's the plans with that? Are you planning to go back, or what's the story?
I actually have no set plan yet. I suppose I'm just playing everything by ear. Like I think because I'm only just home as well, I'm just up to playing, like you said. I'm gonna like see a couple of weeks and like wind down and then reevaluate, I suppose, on what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, sure. You may as well use a few weeks now that you have the time, no doubt about it, Erica. So, yeah, congratulations on winning the AFLW title. Brilliant achievement. And yeah, you're the pride of recruit now. So, Erica, thank you for coming on the podcast today.
Thank you so much for having me.